Hey everyone, this is Phil, and I want to show you quickly how to download and use MediaSite for recording lectures, screen capture, maybe audio files, in the rare instance that you might need to create some kind of instructional content from home and then put it online for students. So we're going to do this by heading over to Canvas. So you'll log into your Canvas account and go to any class. Now this doesn't have to, your MediaSite is not specific to a class, but you'll find in the left-hand navigation pane, My MediaSite. So click on that. Regardless of what class you happen to be in, it's going to take you to your specific MediaSite homepage. So we first have to download the desktop installer. So this is the tool that we're going to use on our computer to actually create the recordings. It doesn't record in the cloud. It records on the desktop and then uploads it, and then we can add it to our classes from there. But first things first, if you'll click Add Media, you'll see first time you'll need to download the MediaSite desktop recorder. It'll only take a minute. About right. So look, if you are not in full screen, your browser's not in full screen, you might not see those options. Okay, so don't panic if you don't see that. Just full screen your web browser, and then you'll have some expanded options. So you'll click this, download that, and then click Download for Windows. I've already got it installed, so I'm going to skip that step and go over to the installer. But wherever your web browser sticks download folders, go open it, follow the prompts, and run that. You should be good to go. Once you open it, let's minimize this. Here is the desktop recorder. Okay, so you should have some kind of message asking you to go and to register it. What that wants is to make a connection to tether your desktop software to your Canvas instance. It's very important. If you don't have that, or if it breaks connection, you can make a recording on your computer, but MediaSite doesn't know where to send that up to in the cloud. So we're going to go back to Chrome now, or your browser. Hopefully you're using Chrome. Let's back out so you don't miss a step. We're back in our MediaSite. Go back to Add Media. And now we're going to do the second option. I already downloaded the MediaSite desktop recorder, but not registered. Click here. That's where we want to go. So you should have some kind of pop-up that says Open MDR. That just means MediaSite desktop recorder. It's legit. So click Open, and then now your browser is now speaking to your desktop recorder. As you can see here, my username popped up. Okay, so my desktop recorder is now registered. So now now there is a proper connection. So let's minimize this and take a look, quick walk through on how to record. Okay, so you can click the record button. Please be sure that you go ahead and name it. Okay, it's called unnamed recording by default. If you go making a bunch of recordings and you never name them, then you might get confused. So remember to give it a name. You've got a handful of different options that you can do. Screencast and video just means that it's going to be basically what you're watching right now. It's going to capture whatever's on the screen, and then it's going to have a video of you down in the corner. Now, one of the great things about MediaSite is that students can swap that back and forth, so they can enlarge either you or the desktop screen that's being recorded, or vice versa. They can swap those, make one small, large, either way that they want to be viewing it. Slideshow and video. Now, why this is different is this is specifically built for if you're using a presentation. So if you've got like a Google Slides presentation or a PowerPoint open and you are recording that, MediaSite will actually take note of when your slide changes, and it will break those up into chunks in your video. So students can then interact more efficiently with your presentation. They can skip to the next slide, or maybe slide 17 or 18 or something. Or let's say you've created a good video you want to hang on to, but content on slide number 12 changed, and you just need to swap that out. This will actually let you just make a quick swap and not recreate the whole video. You can also just record video. So if you just want to do like a 2-minute quick thing with your students, say, hey, here's a rundown for the week, here's what we're working on, just video. Additionally, we can just capture audio. So if you are in an instance where a large amount of your students maybe have difficulty with internet access, they need something smaller, they need some content from you, you can also record audio, and then just get in touch with LMS at Stanley if you need some help with what to do with that, or if you've got questions on these options. But for the sake of this example, I'm just going to select Screencast and Video. So click Next instead of Record, because Next is going to allow us to verify our settings. All right, so camera size, I usually bump this up to the large one so it's not pixelated if students want to pull up the view of me. We'll select the camera. All right, it's not going to show you the preview here because I happen to be utilizing the camera right now to make this recording, but select the right camera. If you've got one on the front and the back, make sure you're looking to the front one. And then make sure you've selected the correct microphone. Then we will click Next, and I'm going to pause this. Okay, so unfortunately I can't fully demonstrate this because the recording itself is utilizing the camera and I can't do both at once. So once you click Next, because you're not going to be trying to make 2 screen recordings at once, you'll have this little pane that's going to open in the bottom right hand corner, and depending on what kind of setup you have with your monitors, this is going to have your preview window of your camera. So a lot of people like to keep an eye on themselves while they do a recording just to make sure their head's not like off screen or something, or you're looking up their nose. So that's what that preview window does. Now if you've only got a single monitor, it's going to have some kind of error message that says preview window is going to be in the recording. What that basically means is when you select your window that you want to record, the preview window is actually going to be captured. So, that's not that big of a deal. You can leave it there because it does have your pause and finish buttons on it for the recording, or you can simply minimize it. You'll see on my screen here, you could just stick it down, get it out of the way once you've started your recording, and then when you're finished, you can go back. Now, it's also going to, when you start your recording, it's going to ask you what kind of region that you want to record. There'll be a desktop option, and when you click desktop, just click the specific desktop. If you're running 2 monitors, click the one that you want to capture. There will be a window option. Window means you can select a particular program open. So maybe you want to just record PowerPoint. And so if when you open up PowerPoint, it's going to just capture that window. You'll select which specific one. And then there's region. So you can click region and then drag a specific area of your computer screen that you want to capture. A good rule of thumb, especially if you're kind of switching media here, you might go ahead and pull up the tabs that you're going to use in your web browser, have your PowerPoint, maybe you've got an Excel document. If you've got a handful of things, go ahead and pull everything up, minimize them down into the taskbar, and then as you're making your recording, just select Record Desktop, and then whatever you happen to pull up and maximize or get out of the way, it'll be ready to capture that, and you won't have breaks in your video. So then you're going to finish that, and I can demonstrate this part to you. So once you'll click Finish, you're going to be taken to this screen, which is the recording management. So if all is well, it's going to show your video uploading. It's going to tell you then once it's done uploading, verifying. And then once everything is up in the cloud, it's going to say finished and you will be good to go. So a good rule of thumb to make sure that there's no hiccups in this is to every time you go and make a new recording, I would strongly suggest that you go back here to add media and do the registration again. All right, it's a quick process, and all this does is just make sure that your desktop recorder is still attached to MediaSite in the cloud. We've had some people who this registration has broken, even though you might still see your name down here and feel like all is well. There have been some hiccups in the upload process and people have had to redo their recordings. So we don't want that. So just simply click this again, register it again. It's it'll take you just a few seconds. All right, so what happens once we've uploaded it? We'll just use a sample that I've got up here. It's going to take some time to process, okay? So if you've made, a 20-30 minute recording, it's going, you might be waiting for an hour for your video to be up here and ready for you to use, okay? So you'll usually see a little window here with a cloud and a bar, and it says currently working or currently processing. So don't panic if it's not there right away. Just step away for a bit, give it a break, come back. Once it is there, let's just look at a couple more things that might be important for you. Edit details. If you forgot to name it, you can go do that in here. Okay. The easiest thing for you though is just now to go to the spot in your Canvas course that you want to embed this. If you need some help editing this, if you run into some details that are a little more in the weeds with MediaSite, email us over at lms@stanley.edu and we'll dig into that a little bit further. But the real simple approach here is just to go and stick this now into an assignment. So let's go look at that. Let's go to our modules, and I'm going to add this to a page. I'm going to embed it into a page. And the reason we do this and we don't share out from that MediaSite page is because we've got MediaSite integrated into Canvas. And so once students log into Canvas, they don't have to log in again to another software. They'll just be able to access your presentation from wherever you have embedded it. So we'll go page, new page, and we'll just give it a name. I'm going to go edit this page now. All right, and super simple, MediaSite is in this external tools button that looks like a little blue V. We'll click on that. You've also got some other things in there you might not have known were integrated, and you can add to your course. But MediaSite right here is the third option. Give it a second to load. You're gonna click presentation, and then again, don't panic. This will take a second for it to pop up. If you have a lot of them and you're confused about which is which, there is a search bar, but it's going to put them up in the order that you last added them. So the most recent one was here for me. So we're going to click, before you've done this the first time, you'll see something here that says make viewable. Click that and then click add to. The name of my course is Philbo Sandbox. So click add to and then just do player only. So now it is embedding this into this page. Let's save. Remember to publish it so students can see it if you're ready for that. And here's what they have. So they have your MediaSite recording in their course now, and then they can play and swap back and forth from you and your screen. And you are good to go. Look, if you run into any problems with this, please let us know. But this is an excellent tool to get some high quality content out to your students remotely. All right, thanks, good luck.